Bendy and the Ink Machine, Dreams Come to Life, is a book by a Dream Crest based on the indie horror game Bendy and the Ink Machine. The book follows a boy named Buddy and how he got a job at Joey Drew Studios, an animation studio that makes animations in the style of Steamboat Willie of Bendy and his friends. Buddy is a boy who lives in the Lower East Side of New York. He worked as a delivery boy for a time before eventually meeting Joey Drew on one of his delivery runs. Joey offered Buddy a job as a gopher at Joey Drew Studios, and that he would even be paid double what he was already paid. Buddy meets a writing intern named Dot who helps Buddy explore and find secrets about the studio. Fun fact! Henry's desk from the games is not only the same desk that Henry Stein used, we'll get to his importance to Bendy as a whole later. It is the same desk that Buddy used in the book during his time at the studio. Some strengths of the book are the suspense that there's a creature in the studio that stalks the halls at night, along with Sammy Lawrence and his disturbing secrets. Some weaknesses of the book, in my moronic opinion, are the side stuff that isn't too important, such as Buddy getting a tuxedo to go to some fancy party with Joey Drew, because the whole chapter of the book shouldn't just be the main character getting a tuxedo. The party itself was important to the story and had some more reveals. Themes of the story include how important family and friends are, because by the end of the story, Buddy dies, and he comes back to life as a real version of Boris the Wolf, the same Boris from the games, also known as Buddy Boris, and he never got the chance to say goodbye to anyone. Now personally, I don't care for any of the book's original characters, which mainly are Buddy and Dot. There's not really any other original characters. But I do like the characters that appear in the games or are mentioned in the games, such as Joey Drew, Sammy Lawrence, Norman Polk, Henry Stein, who was only mentioned a few times in the book but was never shown, Allison Pendle, and Tom Connor. Fun fact! Throughout the book, Buddy goes to multiple locations that are implied to be the same places as in the game, such as the music department from Chapter 2 of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and the art department from Chapter 1 of Bendy and the Ink Machine. Joey Drew is a nice man, except for when he's using his workers' souls to make living cartoon characters. Tom Connor works for Gent, which is a contracting firm in the Bendy universe, and he's the one who created the Ink Machine, and he became a version of Boris who goes by Todd. Sammy Lawrence is the music director at Joey Drew Studios and became a cult leader for the Ink Demon. He's kind of the only cult member. Norman Polk was the projectionist, both as his job and also the name of his monster folder. Allison Pendle was the second voice actress for the character Alice Angel, with the voice being Susie Campbell, both of which became a version of Alice Angel. Henry Stein was the original creator of Bendy, Boris, and Alice Angel, and he's the main character of Bendy and the Ink Machine and Bendy the Page, and is a side protagonist in Bendy and the Dark Revival. Towards the end of the book, it is revealed that the Ink Demon was real and was the monster stalking the halls at night. The Ink Demon is a monstrous version of Bendy that was created from the Ink Machine. It did not have a soul, which is why it acts like a bloodthirsty monster. It is also implied towards the end of this book that Sammy has already become his ink monster self while he was missing. But the graphic novel doesn't show him covered in ink like in the games, but everything else about his design does match up with the game, such as the Bendy mask and the overalls. Do I recommend the book? Absolutely. It's a great horror story, both as a book and a video game. Plus, if you're a fan of the Bendy games, there's extra lore in the book that isn't mentioned in the games, to my knowledge. I don't think some of the lore in the books are mentioned in the games. Fun fact number 3. There are 2 other Bendy books that are slightly connected to this one, being Bendy the Lost Ones and Bendy Fade to Black. There's also The Illusion of Living. I noticed I wrote 2 in the script instead of 3. I'm not gonna bother cutting that out. And The Illusion of Living is an autobiography by Joey Drew, and it's also a canon book that appears multiple times in the games. And all 3 of the books are by the same author, Adrian Press.